While we work at Microsoft, this podcast is independent of Microsoft and implies no warranty or guarantee of the products or services. We will not be sharing anything confidential, and we do not represent the opinion of Microsoft in any way. We are just two passionate guys that love what we do, implementing Microsoft devices and services.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to the Device Pros podcast. I'm Frank Pinto, and my co-host is Alfred Ojukwu. This show is all about our experience as consultants implementing Microsoft solutions around the world. If you're already an IT pro or you're trying to get started, you've come to the right place. We will discuss tech success and failure in the show, resources, tips, tricks, and everything in between. You can find us at www.thedevicepros.com, on Twitter and Facebook as The Device Pros. Hold on to your surfaces. The episode is about to begin.
Hi there, and welcome to another amazing episode of The Device Pros. My name is Frank Pinto, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Alfred Ojukwu.
Alfred Ojukwu, the Oj, hashtag the Alfred. And together we make The Device Pros. Absolutely. It's like a dynamic duo.
Yeah, Ebony and Ivory.
Ebony and Ivory, Batman and Robin.
I can't think of any more.
I can't either, so we'll have to move on from that.
There you go.
All right, so this is our very first video podcast, and I'm pretty excited. How do you feel about it?
I'm pretty excited about it, too. It's the first time we've had to sit down and talk to each other and really get to know our audience.
Yeah, I mean, actually, usually it works out really great because, you know, I'm 3,000 miles away sitting in my studio, and you're
running around New York City trying to talk on the phone on Times Square.
Yeah, it works out good.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So bear with us. It might be a little uncomfortable. There might be some silent moments, some confused moments. There might be 47 blanks, but
or some just tearing up, crying.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our first one, so we're going to do the best we can. We do have a good topic today.
Definitely do. Always have good topics, though.
So we're going to be talking about the difference between technology viewpoint and business viewpoint of technology.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to lead us into that a little
Well,
bit?
I think we talk about how do we have conversations with our customers around what the viewpoint is that they're trying to come across. Again, we look at the difference from a business standpoint. Who are we talking to in terms of getting them interested and excited about changing their organization versus implementing a technology?
When you say changing an organization, you know, what do you mean?
Well, really, that conversation is really around how do we help the organization really transform themselves into an entity that really can drive solutions and build their organization from from the ground up. I don't know. You probably know a little bit more about that since you have a different role now.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think you're exactly on the right track. When we talk about the business of a business, right? We're talking about the non-IT department, the other areas of a company, our customers.
Which is not just the technical conversation. It's really around looking at the business as a whole in terms of profit, long-term sustainability, and just ideas around keeping things sort of moving towards the new age.
So in my new sales role, sorry all my technical friends, but
you left us behind, bud.
I'm a trader.
We're going to miss you, man.
I went sales.
Well, then again, we won't miss him anymore.
Oh, wow. Ouch. All right, so I've kind of been working with a lot of customers and having discussions internally, and I have identified three very distinct trends in having conversations with our customers.
Yep.
Now, the first trend starts off in a business decision maker. This is usually someone who's in the C level of an organization. And they might come to us, like we had one customer who asked us to help them reduce costs by 20%, increase public perception by 20%, and they had an additional goal to help them with by 20%, right? So we call that the 20-20-20.
That's a very interesting perspective, and especially from a technology standpoint, that's usually not the conversation you have. You're thinking about the implementation of a product, so
right.
Really want to hear about that.
Yeah, so I mean it's very strange for Microsoft. I mean, we're certainly departing from the way that we've done things traditionally to have a customer come to us with these business needs and
Or
not
goals.
asking, and not asking Microsoft, hey, we're having a hard time putting out, the latest version of X, Y, or Z, and we need your help with that, and this is a very different conversation.
You know why I find this quite interesting is because it really asks the question around why do we do what we do as a business? Why is it important that we exist in the space that we do? And it helps the business answer that question. That's what we're here to do, is help them answer that question.
So when talking with business decision makers, when talking with the CXO level person in an organization, really, yes, there are other specific things, but there are three things that they're really concerned about when they do anything really with their business. And the first would be to increase revenue.
Increase revenue is very important.
Yeah. Second thing would be
To laugh at Frank's hair.
laugh at Frank's hair. Or hopefully decrease the cost.
There you go.
Right? So they want to increase revenue. They want to decrease the costs. Sorry, I'll flip my hands around, not like this, but like this for my UK friends. I was
Please do.
2 years, I don't know. I guess it just went out the window when I moved back home. Anyway, so increase revenue, decrease cost, and the third thing, maybe the most important thing to a business. What do you think, Alfred?
Innovation.
Yeah, innovation to show more value to their customers.
There you go.
Absolutely. So those are the three things that a BDM, in a general way, that a BDM, a business decision maker, would really be looking to do. So then we have the second conversation, and what audience would that focus with?
Well, that's going to focus on those the technical decision makers at a higher level who are running the organization, the IT departments, making sure that they are looking at it from a solution perspective.
Well, what roles is a technical decision maker?
Well, I would look at VP of IT,
Okay.
anyone that's making decisions from a technology standpoint for the whole organization, not necessarily implementing it, but making sure that they have a platform which they can operate from.
All right. So I think it's important to note that the thing that we're hearing a lot of from people in that role is they want to be a solution provider to their business. They want to own IT capabilities that they can provide and package up as a solution to the rest of their business.
Almost sort of like an external entity coming into the organization saying, this is the way to do X. This is how to implement this solution, this technology.
Absolutely. Yep. So when we talk about technical capabilities, I mean, there's a few things that come to mind. We have digital asset protection, identity management, deployment, and
Device management.
Device management, absolutely. So these are technical capabilities. And what I think is really exciting from a Microsoft perspective is that when we talk with our customers, we're not saying we're going to help you manage your Windows phones and we're going to help you manage your Windows devices. We're saying we know that you've made an investment in some of our competitors' technologies. We'd like to help you manage those things as well. We'd like to provide a platform that makes things easier.
It really is. It's about making sure that platform is supportable, manageable, and the right people, the right resources are available to keep things sort of running.
And cost effective, right? Because if you have to go with one vendor to do device management and one vendor to do identity and another vendor to do data protection, it's expensive from a people perspective, right? Multiple contracts.
Absolutely. Less efficient.
Less efficient, right? So Microsoft, of course, I'm sure you agree with me, we have a great solution that integrates all those things together. And that's, that's kind of the idea. That's something that our IT decision makers have been asking us for.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay. And then we have the most technical level. And the most technical level, we typically call it product implementation. So what examples would you give of that?
So, I mean, I would give examples of just actually deploying a specific product, a specific solution that's been developed by the product team, the engineering team, and it's there to solve that technical problem by actually implementing a specific product.
Okay, so the newest version of Configuration Manager
Is
releases.
an example of that. Yep.
Yep.
Or
Product
Yammer,
implement.
you know, that's another example. Social solution to manage, you know, conversations and
Yammer.
information sharing, you know, proliferation.
Yep.
All those are, you know, OneDrive, for example, might be another example. So
Something I heard Satya Nadella talk about recently was creating, I think he said, digital moments. And that really resonated with me.
what did he mean by that?
Well, you know, we have people all throughout. It doesn't matter what your company is or what your company does. We have people that do lots of different jobs in any organization. By IT having solutions and capabilities and creating transformational ways to use that technology for the business, there are times when you can provide a digital moment to an end user that really makes an impact to them and their jobs and their lives.
So a digital moment is like sort of this one period in time that somebody experiences something digital. What is it?
Well, okay, a great example would be maybe a mobile salesperson. You know, right now, let's say that an organization only has access to email. So I'm a salesperson, I'm on the road, I have email access and I have web browsing access from my phone, and maybe I even have instant messenger on the phone. But what I really need as a salesperson, what I've been asking IT for, is access to my inventory application and my ordering application while I'm on the road, because I have to go back to the office to get those things.
Okay.
So maybe my digital moment as a salesperson is when I'm just done with that customer. I walk out the door, I sit down in my car, I'm getting ready to go, I fire up my Surface Pro 3, I'm not in the office, but I'm able to get to that ordering system, check the inventory, place the order. That just made my digital moment, because my life is easier. I help the company by getting that order in faster.
So what I took
help
away
the
from
customer.
that, right? What I took away from that is just your ability to kind of keep things moving while it's still experiencing just the power of the digital age.
Absolutely, yeah. You're harnessing this power that IT has provided its end users of that business.
Well, it's kind of funny. This might not be an exact example. I'm going to use a much more social example. I tend to be, you know, in the gym sometimes, and I like having my devices with me.
Really? You go to the gym?
Sometimes, just a little bit.
Okay, we can't tell.
And so the difference is, if I wanted to get on a conference call or be part of a conversation with having Link installed, or even a communication device installed on my phone device, I can listen to music, and then once it's time to have that meeting, I can just switch over, have my headset, and kind of continue having that conversation. I can send spreadsheets because I have productivity tools built into my phone itself, and access the same data they're accessing on those calls.
Is this just on Windows phones?
No, of course not. This is going to be on the Android phones. It's going to be on the iOS phones.
Right.
All of the same information available through the use of some of the management solutions like OneDrive. All of the files are available regardless of what device you're on or where you're located.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that. That's that digital moment you're just talking about.
Absolutely. That can really make things easier for you. You don't have to carry around an MP3 player and a cell phone.
Just one device.
Yeah.
I can have more than one device if I want, but I have one device, and it simplifies my experience. It makes it enjoyable, and I get things done. I'm on time to meetings, and I have a good workout.
All right. So let me talk about a very small example of a customer situation that we were able to help with recently.
How small is that?
It's very small.
Okay, we'll see.
So this particular customer manufactures hand dryers, and they came to us with a challenge.
Hand dryers?
Hand dryers.
Interesting.
And they came to us with a challenge. And what do you think that challenge was?
How they clean their hands.
No, they actually had that one down. What they challenged us to do is help them gain more sales. They were struggling. They had very little pipeline. They had their salespeople doing all kinds of different things, but they weren't able to successfully build that pipeline and sustain it.
So why are they coming to you guys for that information?
Well, yeah, see, that's kind of the different idea. They came to Microsoft with a business problem,
Okay.
and they asked us if we had a solution, a technological solution that they could implement that would help solve the business
So
problem.
this goes back to how can we make our organization better than it was yesterday, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, do you know what they did?
They made everybody wash their hands before they came out of the restroom.
Always did that. But they found something. They looked at their organization and they said, you know, we have a lot of value in our organization by the people we have in our organization.
Okay.
So yes, we have a sales force that makes up maybe 10% of the organization, but that leaves another 90% of the organization that's not selling anything.
Okay.
So how can we use that 90%?
I guess through digital age, where you can actually find out what the other 90% are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So to leverage that other 90%, we help them create a very simple application that could go on any mobile phone, Android, iOS, or Windows. And that mobile device, what would happen is, let's say that one of their employees was out and about, maybe went to a restaurant, had their dinner, washed their hands, and looked at a hand dryer, and they saw that it was a really old model or that it was broken.
Oh.
Yeah, so the application leveraged Foursquare so that the user would look at the application, select the location that they're in, snap a picture of that hand dryer, and that would get stored in a database.
So this is for the employees that were actually out, in the evening. They could actually do some additional work if they needed to find more information.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, it was just as simple as any employee in the organization, right? We've got our 10% that's the sales force, but how do we use the other 90%?
Exactly.
Well, any person can walk into a restroom, see that there's a dryer that needed some help, snap a picture, Foursquare, it goes off to sales.
And they understood the goals of the business.
Yeah.
That they were willing
And
to help
it helped
out.
their business, right? Because most people take ownership and pride in the company that they work for. And they wanted to help, and it was successful.
That sounds like a really interesting story. I actually kind of like that.
Good. All right, so we talked about the three kind of conversations that we might have, and why we're sharing with this with you is if you're an IT pro, it's important to understand the different levels of conversation that you might have. Which are, Alfred, if you want to review for us?
If I can remember right, I never really remember these things. You're the guy that knows this stuff. I'm a technical guy, remember?
Yeah, I know. I'm the hated sales guy. But, all right, we have the business decision maker conversation.
BDM conversations.
BDM. We have the
technical
decision maker conversation, TDM.
TDMs.
And then we have our favorite,
just basically the
IT pro.
Yeah, the
Alfred
IT pro.
Ojuko.
I'm not the IT pro, he is.
Oh, no.
So the three different levels of conversation.
Three different levels of conversation.
Very important
It's
to know the difference.
Yeah, because if you're an IT pro and you're trying, you know that this technology that you've just talked to your vendor about is really going to help your business. You have to understand how to talk to them.
If you go into your organization trying to talk about the IT solution to the business decision makers, they'll never listen to you.
Right.
It's just something to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
It'll be very hard to listen to you.
And solutions make a lot more sense than just implementing a product, but having an IT capability that can provide a solution to the business that's much more powerful than just implementing a piece of software.
Absolutely.
All right, well, our very first video podcast, I think it's time to wrap it up.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, me too. I mean, this is pretty cool. We've been doing podcasting, the Device Pros, for well over a year now.
It's kind of different, but, hanging out with Frank here in Seattle is pretty cool.
Yeah, good times. We're actually in a Microsoft building filming this right now.
Yeah.
After hours, of course, in case you're listening, boss.
Yeah.
So please, look us up, thedevicepros.com. We're on every social media available. What do you think?
YouTube,
Yeah.
FaceTime.
FaceTime? Come on, man. Facebook.
Instagram. Yeah, FaceTime. Facebook. Instagram.
Yeah.
I still know some of those technologies. LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Tumblr.
Yeah, just all they're out there.
Yeah, so what the ask is for our audience is just give us the feedback. Keep it coming. You have actually responded when we've asked, and really appreciate that because that helps shape the show.
And we have a lot of topics coming up with Windows 10, around the corner with a number of different topics to cover. So we're asking you to stick with us. Each episode is different. Each episode is unique. We have a lot to share, and we're looking forward to being part of that conversation with you.
Please make sure to give us a rating. If you happen to be downloading this from iTunes, give us a rating. If you're downloading from Stitcher, if you're downloading from any of the social outlets, YouTube, give us a thumbs up.
And of course, if you don't like Frank's blue shirt, please give us a rating and let us know.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear about it. And every time you hear Alfred say something technically incorrect, do a hashtag #TheAlfred. All right, thank you very much for joining another amazing episode of The Device Pros. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
See you guys later.
That wraps up another amazing episode of The Device Pros. We appreciate you tuning in and participating. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another incredible episode helping the technology community one podcast at a time. We want to hear from you, our loyal members, so please reach out on our website, thedevicepros.com, or The Device Pros on Twitter and Facebook. For now, be good to your technology, and remember, the NSA is watching. See ya! While we work at Microsoft, this podcast is independent of Microsoft and implies no warranty or guarantee of the products or services. We will not be sharing anything confidential, and we do not represent the opinion of Microsoft in any way. We are just two passionate guys that love what we do implementing Microsoft devices and services.